Hello everyone, welcome to the cnft.tools Discord server. I'm ToolSin and we're here for an AMA with the Cardano Kooks, a surfing based NFT project on Cardano. We are joined by Russell from the team over there, and he left and is hopefully back. Hello Russell.
Buddy. Sorry about that.
Great timing there, just leave as I introduce you.
And accidentally disconnected.
So yeah, would you like to
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Would
Yeah,
you like to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about how your journey in Cardano started?
for sure. Let me just give a disclaimer for people around here. It's 3 a.m. where I am right now, so I apologize in advance if I space out or curse too much. And a big shout out to the kooks around here. Looking at Jemmy, Joshy out there, Vic, Mark, Mr. Hippie, Mikey is over there, and Hammer. Hello, guys.
Yeah,
So,
definitely a good crowd.
yeah. So, I'm just gonna tell my story first. So, I'm Russell. Spent 7 years in marketing and advertising in the agency world. So, almost 10 years. I've been surfing around for around 4 to 5 years now, and I'm the founder of Cardano Cooks. Well, actually, it's my girlfriend and I who founded this one. It's our project, and we're a fully doxed project. So at first, throughout the years, actually, I was trading stocks as my side hustle while doing my day job. And then when the crypto boom happened around 2014, 2015, I started dabbling with it. And then eventually, when NFTs boomed as well, I said I might as well try that one. So I went first into ETH NFTs, like the usual P2E games, but
Yeah,
I didn't really enjoy the crowd over there. I didn't really enjoy it that much because I feel a bit of a disconnect in the ETH blockchain. Uh, the community is too dispersed. Like you really feel disconnected with ETH crowd, to be honest.
right.
But in the crypto community, in the coin community, not the NFTs, I was very well versed with the Cardano community, and I very well connected with a lot of people over there. So I researched further and I discovered Cardano NFTs late last year. So that's when my CNFT journey started. So when I got into Cardano NFTs right around late last year, I'm a bit lost with all the projects.
Yeah,
I was a bit confused. Like there's just some randos, some more of like clones of ETH NFTs. I just can't really connect with the NFTs in Cardano at that time. So I had to do it the hard way and blindly trust people within, so I can learn more about it. And then I was actually thinking of being a surfer, being having this lifestyle sport where my life revolves around it. It's really hard finding my tribe within the Cardano space, in the Cardano NFT space,
yeah,
which I wish it was there the first time I got in. So in all transparency, most surfers really are into crypto because I know a lot of surfers who are into crypto because when you travel for surf like overseas, it's
yeah,
really easy to it's really easy to convert money just using crypto, and you can even use crypto in some transactions overseas. So there's that aspect of being a surfer and crypto. And I know a lot of surfers are into crypto, but are scared to get into NFTs because all the rug news, all the FUD that's surrounding NFTs.
yeah,
So because that's what I felt when I started out. Um, it's really hard to trust people blindly if you don't have a tribe inside that space.
yeah, for sure.
So yeah, so beginning of this year, I actually want to solve that dilemma. I might as well scratch my own itch, solve my own problem when I was first starting out. That's why Cardano Kooks was created. So Kooks actually means beginner as a beginner surfer. That's
Right.
what you call a beginner surfer, a kook. So it's a term used by board riders all over. Even if you skim, if you wakeboard, if you skate, it means you're a kook. If you're
Okay.
just beginning, if you're making mistakes,
Yeah.
uh, that's why I call this project Cardano Kooks, because if they get into Cardano, they're basically cooks here in Cardano.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
it's a more targeted approach. It's a more niche based project. That's why it's called that. So Cardano Cooks is a collection of 2,500 PFPs with the interconnect surfers or any board rider into the CNFT space, because we noticed there's a lot of board riders who wanted to get in the project as well. Like we have like more than 100 board riders with different variations in the project. So the aim is to show them uh, around the CNFT space and what they should expect, basically.
Nice.
So yeah, so the project is, as you can see, the project is not like we're not trying to change the world here. We're not like the next revolutionary technology thing in the NFT space. There's a community-centric approach. So we aim to just enrich our community and connect the surfers from around the globe into the CNFT space. So with this short span of connecting with a lot of people, I actually found some of the founders of some projects in the CNFT space are actually surfers, which
All right.
is really interesting. So um, at that point, I was like, it proved my thesis that there are surfers in the CNFT space, but they just don't have a collective to be in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, because I
So.
mean, like, I when I first saw the project, I thought it was a bit odd because it's like, but your initial thoughts don't mix surfers with crypto usually.
Hmm.
So I mean, obviously, what you're saying about surfers traveling around all over the world, it starts to make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
But still, you don't see surfers as being like the stereotype to be involved in all the hype and everything else that goes around NFTs. But then that's not what you're doing either. So it's starting to make
Yeah.
it's starting to make a lot more sense to me now.
Yeah. The thing is actually, when I first got into crypto, it feels like it resonates a lot with this energy of being a surfer, being a board rider, where you're outside of the system, like this punk mentality. When you're into crypto, you'll feel that because you're outside of the traditional monetary system. That's why you identify yourself with it. That's why I think most surfers, and I actually know a lot of surfers who are into crypto because of that aspect, which is really, really something you connect with if you're a board rider, in my opinion.
That's good.
So yeah,
Yeah,
so
sorry,
yeah,
no, carry on. I didn't want to interrupt you then.
oh no, it's okay. So and the community, I don't want people to get alienated. So we have a lot of non-surfers as well. We actually have a few whales in some projects as well, for them to guide the new surfers, the new board riders coming in.
That's cool.
So I mean, yeah, not a lot of like, there's not a lot of surfers actually in a surf community, like in surf towns, even in El Salvador, in Bali, places like that in Australia. Most of the people are not surfers, but they like the vibe in it. So that's how our community feels right now. Like they like to vibe with surfers, the surfer vibe. They're trying to catch that as well. They're trying to catch a stoke, which is
Yeah,
really,
yeah,
really cool. So I like seeing that part of our community. That's why there's a diversity of non-surfers and surfers in the space inside Cardano Cooks community, which is really healthy, in my opinion. So we actually had this film viewing recently around Surf's Up. We had this film viewing of Surf's Up. It's like an old animation movie where the Cardano Cooks is based, and even the non-surfers really liked it because most of my surfer friends really love that movie, and I didn't really expect for non-surfers to enjoy that movie as well, which is really, really cool. So basically, that's a project. That's our project.
No, I mean that sounds very cool, and I mean what tends to get I don't want to say forgotten, but often overlooked is everybody likes to focus on the top projects of the day, with 10,000 ADA floor price or whatever it is. But what's actually
Yeah.
really important is I don't want to say lower level, but more the projects that are dedicated to onboarding new people and you know, helping new people find their feet and not get overwhelmed, and maybe give them some advice on how to avoid some of the more obvious DM scams, for instance, and stuff like that.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. You get my point. Because as I've said, we're not trying to change the world here. There's an entry level project. So the thing is, I know a lot about marketing. I owned a marketing agency for almost 2 years back in 2018. So I know how it works. I know all the moving parts. So I see Cardano Kooks like a marketing agency, but for CNFT. So the thing is, a lot of projects try to do this, but they don't really have a real world target market. So they just alienate people outside of the CNFT space.
Yeah,
But for us, we actually have a real world target market, which is really cool in my opinion, because only a few projects in the NFT space do this. I mean, in the CNFT space, at least.
yeah,
So I see Mad Dog Car Club, the Bicycle Club. I forgot the name of that project. So those are people who are niching down to certain hobbies,
yeah,
which is really nice to see because I think that's where Cardano NFTs is headed to, since we are in the onboarding phase of people. Um, we're taking people from other chains, and in order to do that properly, we have to niche down to specific hobbies. We have to niche down to specific lifestyles in order for them to resonate with us. Because if we just present them some random apes, some random stuff, they're really not gonna
yeah.
connect with the project. So that's the point of our project right now, is to bridge the gap between the outside world and the CNFT space.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that Cardano NFTs certainly have uh, somewhat of a different personality compared to Ethereum and
Yeah.
to Solana as well, to a lesser extent, but definitely against like the Ethereum NFTs. It's hard to put your finger on exactly what it is, especially as I'm on the inside and I'm kind of looking for things and everything as
Yeah.
well. But I certainly feel that there's a lot more effort going to the art
Oh yeah,
overall on
definitely.
projects on Cardano versus at least Ethereum. I don't know so much about Solana and stuff, so I'm not gonna jump on that bandwagon. But it's like
Oh yeah.
the overall level of quality of projects here is just a notch above what they are on ETH.
Yes, it's
Like
insane actually.
even the bad ones are better.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, yeah. That's true. The talent inside Cardano is next level, to be honest, and I want people to appreciate that. But the thing is, in the Cardano NFT space, we are late at the party when it comes to influencer marketing. Because Ethereum got Gary Vee, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
Yeah.
Gary Vee connects people into that space. He has his own marketing agency taking care of all the Ethereum projects he's getting in. Like for example, when he hyped up CryptoPunks, he didn't do it alone. He has a whole
Oh, of
network
course
of
not.
people who
Yeah.
tried to hype it up. When he did it on Bored Ape as well, he didn't do it alone. His agency worked with all this Hollywood people in order
Yeah.
for them to hype it up. But for Cardano, we have a different identity because of Charles. Because Charles presented Cardano as something organic, something slower but steady in growth, and something more. If crypto is punk, Cardano is punker. You know what I mean? So it's punkier.
Yeah,
That
that's the
yeah.
word.
So basically, that's basically what we are. So in my opinion, we're not gonna be going in the route of like trying to get a YouTuber promoting CNFTs. We can't really do that because it's against Cardano's goals. It's against Cardano's because Cardano cares about growth and hype. I mean, Cardano doesn't care about hype. Cardano cares about growth.
Yeah,
So in order for you to do that, to spread that organically, you need to niche down to certain different lifestyles, certain different hobbies, because it's what we do in marketing. In marketing, say for example, if you are a big brand like Coca-Cola, you use advertising. That's like Ethereum right now.
yeah,
But if you're a local brand, like for example, an independent brand, say when Doc Martens was starting out, or maybe when Supreme was starting out, that's actually what we are right now. So when they were starting out, they're not trying to advertise millions of dollars. They're trying to catch a lifestyle. So for example, so before Supreme became a hype brand, Supreme was actually catering to skaters. And then
yeah,
eventually when it grew organically, it went viral and people wanted to get in because it's same in surfing. Surfing is a lifestyle sport. And not as I've said earlier, in surf towns, only 10 to 20% are surfers and 80% wants to get in that lifestyle.
yeah.
So that's what we're trying to do right now. We're trying to spread the vibe of surfing. So not a lot of surfers in our community. We have like 2,000 people, only 100 plus are surfers, but people want to get in because they want the vibe. So that's what we're trying to spread over here. Well, I'm not just selling the lifestyle, of course. We also have utilities because we're not just PFPs. We also have utilities in our project.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to bring it back to there eventually, but I did want to talk a little bit about how you came up with the art and the process you went through to find an artist and all that side of things first, if that's possible.
So every NFT creator, I think, went to Fiverr. So that's the
Well,
first route I
I
started.
mean, not everyone did. Let's just
Oh
make
yeah,
that
yeah, of
clear.
course. I mean, I'm not an artist, so I had to source out, and the first thing that I saw on Google was Fiverr, and I was like, oh shit, this like I ordered from 5 artists at first, and it's all shit, to be
Yeah,
honest. So I crossed that one out from my list, and I first started with something that servers resonate to, since we're board rider centric. I really like the animation movie Surf's Up. And I really like the vibe of the, like, not the protagonist, but the best friend of the protagonist that doesn't really care too much about what's happening. I like his vibe.
yeah,
So that's where we got the art inspiration. But I found an artist. She's a young and upcoming artist in Manila, here in the Philippines. And she showed me something, a proposal of that art, because I was looking for a lot of independent artists to help out. So she showed me a proposal of Chicken Joe, the name of the character, and then I told her she needs to alter it so that in the future, if we get adoption, I mean, in the space, we don't get hit by a copyright strike. So
yeah,
she
yeah.
altered it a lot.
That's quite kind of
Yeah,
important.
yeah. Because a lot of brands right now in the NFT space really doesn't care about copyright, but eventually, if you wanted adoption, you're gonna have regulations by the government, and it's gonna go down to that. So I wanna make sure that our project is safe, it's future proof, right? And we're gonna not gonna be touched. So I told her, yo, just alter this a little bit. You remove this one, remove this, and then eventually we come up with the base art of Cardano Cooks. So that's basically where the art come from.
Nice. So, are
Hmm.
you all from the Philippines area, or are you based all over?
I'm actually from the Philippines. I'm 100% born Filipino.
Cool.
We usually just travel a lot all over the Philippines. We don't have a home base, to be honest. We just go where the waves are. But right now, we're in the city. We've been away from the beach for almost a month now because we want to focus on launching the project because it's really hard to get a good connection in the islands. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
that's our
I've
situation right
never
now.
been, but the pictures I've seen are incredibly beautiful, but not conducive to good internet.
Yeah. Yes, you're 100% right
Yeah,
about that.
well, well, one of the things that makes it quite look as beautiful as it does, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely. You get disconnected from
Oh,
the outside world.
but yeah, yeah, but yeah. So, how many is there of you on the team in total?
So right now, it's actually bootstrap. It's me,
Yeah,
my girlfriend. So we have Jasmine, the artist, and we're working with retro NFTs on this one. So we're like four people. It's everything is bootstrapped because of course it's a startup. We don't have any initial funds to hire out people.
yeah.
So basically that's it.
So, how many NFTs are in the drop? Is it tomorrow now?
It's yeah, it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's on the 19th. Crazy.
Well,
I
yeah.
just realized right now. I was actually
Tomorrow for
thinking in two
you and
days.
a couple of days for me.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, it's 2,500 PFPs. We started out with a very small number because it was initially 5,000, and we kind of altered that a few weeks ago because we were thinking there's not a lot of people who are gonna be into this at first.
Yeah,
So we might as well split up the seasons. Like for example, this one, the 2,500, the first 2,500 is uh, a collection called the Locals. Because when you go to Surftown, the first thing you gotta go through is the locals. There's
yeah.
a really, really strong sense of localism in the surf industry. So that's what we call this collection because eventually when we grow, they gotta go through the people who got first. So that's the idea of it.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I think it's a good thing to reduce the size of the project if you feel that there's too many in the project. Like, you know, there's no point flooding the market and putting people off with all the FUD that results from an oversupply when you can just have a nice size supply, and then as you onboard more people, then you can either you can do a season two or some kind of mascot thing. I don't, whatever else comes
Yep.
to your mind.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's no point in oversaturating the market right now because we're starting out.
Yeah, and I mean, I do think that there is an oversaturation in general of the market right now. Um, we've got all these NFTs continuing to release, and
Hmm.
market forces are such that the trend is downwards at the minute, not upwards.
Yep, exactly. That's actually one of the reasons why we downsize as well, because we want to keep our community a bit smaller and nurture them instead of like spreading our product like wildfire, but we cannot really cater to them that much. It's better to start small and know each other, like because this community based, this is not, as I've said, this is not like a new metaverse thing. We are community based, so it's better for us to know each other in a personal level, which is actually what's happening right now. So that's our aim with the number of drops is to minimize the people at first while we're still in a downward market, and then eventually once we start to go up, people are gonna want to go in. That's when we start on our growth phase.
That's cool. So, what kind of resources are you providing people? Do you is it like chat? Obviously, you got chat channels and everything, but are you providing resources to help people avoid scams or to show people how to do their own research? Because I mean,
Oh, that's
what one
actually
of the things that bugs me is everyone says do your own research, but
yeah.
if you ask somebody, well, actually, how do I do that? Nobody can ever reply.
Yep, yep. I totally get what you mean. That's why every time someone new from like there's a lot of people new in the CNFT space because we're not that old.
Yeah.
So when people get in or chat and talk about they're new in the NFT space and everything, we just guide him through all the stuff that he needs to read first. I mean, most of them are very lazy, so most of the time I just throw them YouTube channels they should listen to, like Jason from the Blocks Hut, maybe Atlantic over there, and then some resources about what do you call this? Some market statistics, NFT tools,
Yeah.
of course, and then
Thank you.
and then eventually down the roadmap, once we start onboarding people, we're gonna have a dedicated consultant, like an actual financial manager, so we can actually say this is financial advice.
Oh, that's
Because
going to get scary quickly. That one. That's going to
oh
get
yeah,
scary
for
quickly.
sure,
That one.
for sure. But we're gonna, of course, we're gonna have a few consultants about that, and then a copywriter in order for us to publish the stuff in the server properly, and a legal team as well, so that everything is all good. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people in the space right now, hey, I'm telling you this, buy this, but hey, this is not financial advice. It's fucking bullshit, in my opinion. So that's why we want to go the legal route. We want to go with the experts route, the financial advisors route, and actually give good financial advice to our people. Because people who are coming in using our entry level PFPs, our entry level NFTs, are people looking for guidance. And if we cannot give it to them, it's gonna be our utility is gonna be basically useless.
Yeah. I mean, like it's kind of interesting. I mean, it's a lot of mouse to feed off a smaller project, but it's quite a scary thing to be advertising financial advice in the NFT market. I have to like you've got steel ones, that's for sure.
We're not basically trying to advertise this one. We're just like for people who are holding the Cardano Kooks, they have access to this one. So it's not really something we're gonna be putting out there, but at least they have some resources they can use.
Yeah.
So um in the future we're planning to onboard a life coach as well in the Discord, because recently we've experienced a few rugs and a few losses in the market, and a lot of people in our community was devastated, and they were ranting about they're really depressed, in my opinion, because they were DMing me about advice on this one and this one, and most of it is actually non-logical. It's mostly emotional.
Yeah.
And being in therapy myself for around like 3 4 years, a life coach, a psychologist really helps a lot when you're suffering from a loss. So that's actually in one of our checklists in the roadmap.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty amazing thing to be able to provide people actually.
Yeah, because
I mean, like someone to listen to is always well needed, but somebody that can signpost to more suitable organisations will be quite useful, I'm sure, in the future.
oh yeah, for sure. That's actually the goal. Because as I've said, our project is not it's not trying to change the world. It's a very like it's low maintenance, so we can actually do this according to the accounting team. I mean, accounting team meaning us. We did the accounting on this one, so we can actually make this possible, because um we're not really taking off that much from the project. There's gonna be all about team expansion on the first phase. So I think we can carry that one out.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the advantages you must one of the advantages of being in somewhere slightly cheaper to live.
Exactly, exactly. That's why we were talking about it when we were first starting out, because we were supposed to move out of the Philippines uh, beginning of the year, because we were kind of sketched out by the election that happened and the new government.
Yeah.
So we were thinking of like, should we move to Bali or should we move to Australia? And we were like thinking, maybe we should stay in the Philippines first, enjoy the cheaper lifestyle, and start a project. So that's what we decided on. Because if we're gonna be moving somewhere else, it's not gonna be cheap. So we're not gonna be able to do this one.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, was asked earlier, but not really had a chance to interject it. You said your background was in advertising and stuff like that, but there was a question asked about what the rest of the team did before entering CNFTs, i.e., I guess your missus.
Oh, so she was actually focused on customer service. So she knows how to talk to people. That's why whenever I'm busy, she's the one taking care of the community. And as for the artist, she's still a student, but she has good art. And she has background in trading NFTs as well. She has professors who are like influencer in the ETH space, I think, and because she's always sharing about that, and that's like her mentor about NFT. So that's basically the background right now. For me, it's marketing and advertising over a decade, doing some e-commerce stuff. Like before even the boom of e-commerce, I was there, and then um, on the side hustle, I'm trading. So that's basically my background. So I'm pretty much a one trick pony when it comes to a field, but I like that about me because makes me a stronger suit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do it, you do it well, right?
Exactly.
So, how did you go about hiring a developer? Because obviously, even the most community-orientated projects, you still need a developer for, for website and for actually programming all the different layers and everything for the NFTs. Like, what's that process look like for you as somebody that doesn't code or know about developers?
Oh yeah. So I experienced actually not experienced minting, but I was there during the minting of Ada Invaders.
Oh,
So
okay.
I watched Jim's video. I followed his project for a long time, and I was actually in the market for developer, and I watched his video with Jason from the Block side, and then he talked about retro NFTs, and I was like, oh, I didn't heard about that those guys from my research, so I was like, might as well check them out because with the other developers that I talked to, it got kind of sussy.
Mm.
Yeah, because most of them doesn't wanna be on the phone to talk or doesn't wanna like they don't want to dox themselves, which is kind of weird in my opinion. If we're gonna work together in a project, we
Yeah.
might as well at least have the decency to talk through the phone.
I
So
mean, there's a very big difference between docs to the world and docs to the team that you're working with.
sorry, what?
There's a very big difference between being docs to the world and just being docs to the team that you're working with.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Like if you're gonna be working with us, it's gonna be better if we know each other on a I mean, not a personal level, but at least we know you're a real person, you know?
Yeah,
Like we know
yeah,
you're not because because I've been in the agency world and most people in the agency world are like, yeah, they're taking clients, but someone else in this part of the world is doing the job. Like for example, we
yeah,
outsource a lot of people from like India here in the Philippines because it's gonna be cheaper. So
yeah,
we want we want to talk to the guy, to the developer, if he really knows his stuff. So
yeah,
none of those prospects really like had the decency to do. And then eventually, when I reached out to Retro NFTs, it's actually two guys. It stutters, and I forgot the name of the other guy because they're just on Discord name. But it doesn't really matter to me as long as they were comfortable to talk about the
yeah.
process, talk me through everything, and I was like, I was sold. So they really know their stuff. Their system is proven by Ada Invadas, Disco Solaris, and even though it's kind of on the pricier side, it doesn't really matter as long as they deliver to our audience. Because if you're gonna be cheap, but you're gonna be like NFT Maker Pro, it's not really it's not really worth it. So might as well go on the pricier side with people who know what they're doing and do it right.
Yeah, I mean, to be clear, NFT Maker Pro has its place. It's just not for everybody.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I don't know. I've been hearing a lot of stuff about them. A lot of people warned me about them. So when I was starting out, I was talking to a lot of creators who were warning me about them. So
Yeah, I mean, at the end of it, it's the sort of thing they're not going to do everything right perfectly first time. But I think it's quite important for not necessarily for an NFT maker itself, but for there to be services around for people to be able to jump in and try and and try to mint an NFT or a
yeah,
small collection. I think it's still a little bit technical for the average person to work through it, but I think that's a stage I'd like to see either them or a similar type of place get to.
yep,
I mean, flood the market even more, right? But it gives people a sense of belonging to the chain when they can say, "I made that. Look at what I made
oh
yesterday.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
This is one I bought. This is what I made."
Yeah, it's a better perspective over there.
But yeah, so is it a DApp minting system or is it just a send ADA to address system? I seem to remember it being a send ADA thing, but
Yeah, it is. It is a cent a year thing. So people are gonna be queuing. It's gonna be one mint per transaction, and like the addresses they're gonna send to is gonna be changing every time to avoid refunds eventually, because we wanted to avoid the bulk sending into just one address,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
which is
Oh, so
happening to a lot.
so you're able to do with the one mint address per transaction, as it were.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
that's amazing.
exactly. It is. We were actually sold by that system because there's a lot of problems when minting when because there's this one mint that I did recently where I sent the money to the address and then I slept because the mint is happening 1 a.m. my time. So when I woke up, the money's back in my wallet. So
Yeah,
without the NFT. So that sucked a lot. So we wanted to avoid that with our system. That's why we picked retro NFTs. They're really good with what they do.
yeah, yeah. I mean, just to give a little background for those that aren't quite as technically aware of Cardano, Cardano is actually designed so that you can have many different receive addresses that all connect to your one stake address. And it's been designed in a way that means that you only actually need to use your each receive address only once, and then you can just move on to a new receive address, and everything's all good. But everything will still end up in the same wallet or be sent from the same wallet.
Yep.
It adds another level of anonymity, and there's some other technical benefits that I'm sure I'm not half as uh, clever enough to understand, to be honest.
Oh, me too. I cannot explain that if you're gonna pass that to me.
So, what time is the mint tomorrow again?
So it's gonna be 1 a.m. UTC 1 p.m. UTC.
Oh,
So
okay.
originally it was 7 a.m. UTC because it's actually a selfish thing because we're in Asia time, right? And there's a lot of Asian in the community. And I was like
Yes.
thinking, hey, this projects are sourced from UK or the US. They've been making projects and making them comfortable in their time. What if I create a a project that is comfortable in our time zone?
Yeah,
So that's
absolutely.
why
Absolutely.
yeah, it's like a revenge play, like a playful revenge play. It's not out of spite. It's just to play with people. It was originally set at 7 a.m. UTC, so it's gonna be 3 p.m. around Hong Kong time. So it's gonna be around the afternoon here in Asia, and it's gonna be like in the middle of the morning in the US. And then eventually, yeah. So eventually, you onboarded a lot of people from the US and UK. And then they started to tell me, "Hey, this is not gonna work out for me." So we found a middle ground. So it's now 1 p.m. UTC, which is kind of funny in my opinion. We were laughing about it because we didn't think that we're gonna be onboarding a lot of people from there because there's not a lot of surf in there. Most of the surf is in the Pacific.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Cornwall, which is the very southwest of England, and I used to go surfing at a beach just around. Well, it's a few miles up the road from Fistral, and
Oh, for real?
yeah. A little place called
Sweet.
Polseth or Polsheath, depending on how you want to pronounce it. But
That's
yeah,
nice. That's
it
nice
was
to know.
actually the location of the first ever UK surfing championships, which I took part in when I want to say 7 or 8.
Whoa, this
Yeah,
really cool to know.
this is going back. This, I mean, because it happened at Polseth for like 2 years before it moved to Fistral, and it was with Surfers Against Sewage and all that crowd as well. But
That's
yeah,
very nice,
that's
dude.
going back some now.
Uh, See, I'm onto something. There's a market of surfers in the Cardano space.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, like, everybody's got a link, right?
Yeah. That's true.
And yeah, I mean,
So,
living on an island helps with that. But
oh yeah, for sure. Because we don't have to wear wetsuits.
oh yeah, I mean, I didn't have to, but I certainly did when I had the opportunity.
Yeah.
Though there was a
Hey,
particularly
I just
cold
wanna.
New Year's Eve surfing one
Oh
night
yeah.
that yeah, I think I lasted 10 minutes and came out half hypothermic.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
So yeah,
So,
just want to mention to people that if you have any questions that we haven't managed to answer already, feel free to fire them into NFT chat, and we'll make sure that they get posted.
oh yeah, for sure. I just want to talk a bit about our utility because I don't think
Yeah,
I
yeah.
expanded that. I expanded that.
You see,
We
we're
were
having
having too
too
much
much of
fun.
a conversation here. I've got to remember that
Yeah.
it's silly o'clock in the morning for you there as well.
Yeah. So I was looking through my notes and I was like, oh shit, I forgot about the utility. So our utility is gonna be, well, besides the usual weekly events that we're gonna be holding for exclusively for holders. So right now we're having daily events that is actually available to everyone, but eventually it's gonna be closed down to holders only, and the prizes are gonna be bigger. Like we're gonna be giving out surfboards, we're gonna be giving out merch as well. We're gonna be giving out ADAs, NFTs, the spots, order projects, everything that we can give out to the community in order for them to be happy. It's going to be given in those events. That's going to be exclusively for holders. It's going to be happening weekly. And besides that, top 1,000 holders of Cardano Cooks, top 1,000 rank, I mean, are going to be getting the 5% of royalties. Because
Oh
as
wow.
I've said, yeah, because we don't really need much in the project. It's mostly going to be outsourcing. It's like we're going to be building a marketing agency around the project. So it's not going to be much. So we thought of a thing that will incentivize people to hold a lot longer and a lot more. So we thought of why not instead of like hoarding the royalties, we distribute it to the Cardano holders. So we will be distributing 5% of the royalties every quarter. We're gonna have like maybe a snapshot at the beginning of the quarter and then at the end of the quarter and see the wallets who held throughout the quarter and distribute the 5% to them.
Yeah.
So
Sorry. Is
that's
that
what's
the royalties totaling 5% or 5% of the royalties?
it's 5% of the royalties. So we have 8% royalties
Right. So
in
it's
our
five
project.
percent of that 8%. Yeah.
Yes, and
Okay. Cool.
3% is going to be
Yeah.
going to the salary of the people in the team.
Yeah.
So yeah. So besides that, in the roadmap, we have we're gonna be partnering with a lot of local surf brands because eventually we want to go to the mainstream surf brands like Hurley, like Rip Curl, but we cannot really jump that big of a gap because they're up high up there in the mainstream. So we're gonna be partnering up with a lot of local surf brands on where most of the Cardano Kooks are based in. So, for example, we have a lot of South African, Australian, and California-based surfers, as well as the Philippines. So we're going to be talking to local brands over there and see if we can introduce them to Cardano, to basically Cardano, and maybe accept Cardano's payment, and then eventually give perks to Cardano Cook holders, and see if we can create a project together inside Cardano. So Cardano Cook holders are going to have first dibs on those projects. They're going to have discounts in those establishments. And eventually, when these brands readapt Cardano and they advertise Cardano in their space, it's going to be a win-win situation. So that's a really good utility that we're looking at right now because it's going to be more organic. And
That's
then eventually, we're going to be moving into the metaverse as well because well, let's face it, there's no good metaverse right now. There's no really promising thing. Like there's no like there's nothing yet in the metaverse right now, in the CNFT metaverse that is really good. But eventually when it comes down to that, we're gonna be partnering up with some of the good metaverses, and we're gonna be making wearable surfboards for the characters in the metaverse. So for example, if you have like Vox pugs or maybe Vox cats. We're gonna be building surfboards for the metaverse characters, and we're gonna be working with some developers in order for us to research on how we can do that.
that'd be cool.
So yeah,
Especially if you can
so
tie that in with movement somehow as well.
yeah, exactly. We were thinking about because we saw how cornucopias was doing their thing, and we thought because if they're able to put in spaceships in there, it's gonna be much easier to put in surfboards. So
Yeah, you'd
so
think
yeah, that's the
anyway.
idea. Oh yeah, of course. Because eventually, when we're going to be onboarding a lot of marketing people, because we want the word out as much as possible, and then we're going to be onboarding eventologists. We're going to be onboarding more bots for them to nurture our community, and then we're going to be onboarding a metaverse researcher, which is that team is the one who's going to be taking care of that one down the road. So that's the idea right now.
Yeah, I mean that all sounds pretty exciting actually.
It
Sort of like
actually
you,
is.
yeah, I know you were just talking about partnering with different stores and brands and stuff like that. Is that going to apply to like hotels and stuff like that as well? So especially around like the more major locations, whether it be I know Fistral, but you know whatever beach in Bali or whatever beach off of California, whatever like that.
Yes, of course. It's not. It's gonna be a Surftown based NFT. It's not gonna be complete if we don't have any partners in any Surftown. So I have a lot of friends in the space that can help us out with that. Because the thing is that there's the reason why we're onboarding a lot of people. Um, we know a lot about marketing and surfing. That's the only thing we know. But we have to automate all the moving parts of the project in order for us to focus on doing the partnerships in the surfing community. So that's going to be a no-brainer to have surf hotels and surf camps to partner up with us. So Cardano Cook holders are going to have so much perks when they go to Surftown eventually.
Yeah, I mean that all sounds really awesome.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is. It's a really big dream right now.
so obviously I'm not going to ask you too much about it, but you know you've managed to get this far this quickly. Have you got anything saved up for any sneaky announcements after mint?
We're saving that. We're saving that one post mint. So that
I know.
the
I
people who
just like
minted.
just so people know that there's still something to come in the future. You know,
Well, yeah.
or
So
something more to come in the future, I should say.
okay. So just a sneak peek. There's gonna be a big event a week after mint. That's gonna be exclusively for Cardano Cook holders, and there may or may not be awesome surfboards up for grabs. So that's everything I can say right now.
I mean, that's you've got me sold. I mean, I've never actually been able to successfully manage to stand on a board for longer than about 10 seconds.
Oh, it's
but
okay, bro. Like
I'm
not a
definitely
lot of
sold.
waves. Not a lot of waves last 10 seconds, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was always a little bit big for the boards that I had. So
Oh, I see.
yeah, I'm like 6'4" and 300 whatever pounds now. So I think we know why I wasn't the best surfer at this point.
Yeah, you're too big, bro.
Oh dear. So was there anything else that you wanted to touch on?
Um, well, actually, that's about it. Like, those are the plans. That's the project that we're working on. I hope you guys have a clear picture about it. I certainly had fun talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've certainly had an amazing, enjoyed myself amazingly much actually. So yeah,
Well, it's down memory lane for you because you used to surf.
yeah, very much so. Like yeah, I used to love it. I mean, my grandparents had a house on the cliffs, so I used to be
Oh,
able to go
sweet.
down and stay there, run down the cliffs in the morning, go for a surf before breakfast.
Ah, that's the dream,
Like
bro.
spend half a day in the sea when I was down there. Uh,
That's the dream.
yeah, and then they'd bring out the old wives' tale of not being able to swim after you've eaten just to try and keep me out of it. Like you're gonna shrivel up? No, I won't. Okay, well you can't go in after you've eaten. You'll drown. Okay, mum.
It's always the old people tale, but it's actually true.
Yeah, I know, right? So yeah, if there's any other questions in chat, now's probably your last chance to get them out if you wanted to. Trying to be aware that it's what approaching 3 in the morning or approaching 4 in the morning for you.
Yeah, it's approaching 4 in the morning, so
Oh man.
but I'm still hyped up. I like the conversation. I like the flow.
Yeah, I mean it's definite commitment to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning to then or 3 o'clock in the morning and then start an AMA. That's for sure. I did one a couple of weeks ago and I really enjoyed it, but yeah, obviously I started waking up at the point where they're like, yeah, okay, well we've discussed everything now. It's probably time to wrap it up. And I'm like, well, I'm just enjoying myself now. I spent a half of it
Actually,
asleep, and I'm just waking up.
yeah, I think my body's trying to get used to it because the other day we had Twitter Spaces with a lot of other projects. So we stayed up from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. in that Twitter space. So it's pretty stressful, but still fun.
But yeah, good on you for doing a mint time that was slightly better for you guys. I do feel for a lot of the Filipino guys and the Australasians and you know the Japanese and stuff like that with some of the time
Yeah,
zones everything gets posted in.
we have a lot of Singaporeans as well. Well, shout
Oh,
out to
nice,
Singaporeans.
nice. Yeah, it's one of those things where the US and European market is larger, so it tends to get preference. But be nice to see something that really took off in on you know in the Eastern world and did well for those guys. You know.
Yeah. Well, actually, the NFT adoption here in Asia, it's actually really fast. Like, it's not something new because in ETH, do you know Axie Infinity?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Axie Infinity has a player base of Filipinos more than 80%.
That's
So
crazy. 80%.
it is crazy. Yeah, bro. So
Wow.
in their peak, like everywhere you go in Axie, it's all Filipinos. Because see the thing is the wage here, the
Yeah,
minimum,
yeah.
no, not the minimum, the average wage is like $500 a month, so dollars. So that's pretty achievable in like maybe a week of playing Axie.
Oh Jesus.
So yeah, I mean in
Yeah,
its
yeah.
peak,
Not
but
so much now, I'm sure, but
yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's how a lot of Filipinos got into NFTs, and eventually they just explored. A lot of creators in the space as well are Filipinos. Havoc Worlds are Filipinos.
oh, nice.
Eh, yeah, and most of the holders as well. So it's really a big space.
So after it being sat there for, I don't know, 15 minutes and me saying, anybody got any questions? I just saw the question that was underneath my nose the entire time.
Yep.
When you said the top 1K were going to receive a portion of the royalties, did you mean rank determined by rarity or rank determined by quantity of kooks held?
So it's gonna be both. If you hold, like for example, if it's gonna be equally divided. So for the top 1,000 ranked cooks, the 5% royalty, I mean, at least the idea of it right now is gonna be equally divided per cook, per, per Cardano cook. So if you hold like maybe 10, 20 Cardano cooks in your wallet that is all within top 1,000, that's gonna be adding up. It's like the idea of Nifty World, which well for them every holder gets a percentage, I think.
Yeah,
So the more you hold, the more you earn. So it's gonna be like that in Cardano Cooks as well.
that's cool.
Yep.
Are you going to be listed on cnft.tools?
Of course, of course.
Well, hey.
We're actually in the process of finishing up our our application with you guys. Well, actually, we started like 3 weeks ago, but I think I was talking to one of your guys, and they're gonna finish up after Ermin, so
Ah,
that
okay.
everything is properly like everything is accurate and all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, like, different projects like it doing differently. Our default is to put them up on the website as they're minted, but we
Yeah.
can do it in pretty much whichever way projects like us to do.
Yep. So that's the idea. So probably they're gonna be seeing their Cardano cranks after Mint.
Okay, so is that going to be like, a couple of hours after mint, or it's going to be more like a day or two?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm actually waiting for a response from one of your guys.
Ah,
So
well, yeah.
I'm
I
just.
mean, the response will be it's your choice, mate.
Oh,
But
I see. Okay, so I'm gonna reach out again today,
yeah.
to see to have an answer for the cooks. We're gonna be throwing that question to me by tomorrow because we have an AMA in house tomorrow as well.
Ah, very nice. I mean, like I would have tried to take you for the night before you mint, but that did seem a little bit too much to expect.
Yeah, we want to reserve that night for cooks only. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, for sure.
you want a more intimate a night before uh the min.
Yeah, yeah, but definitely. But yeah, I will quite likely pop by and steal. Well, I say steal. I'll probably nip by and mint myself on the quiet anyway. I'm sure.
Yeah, just pop by anytime you want, man.
Yeah, that sounds
You're
good.
pretty much welcome in the coop.
Much appreciated. But yeah, I mean, as we've got no further questions and it is getting close to bed o'clock for you, I'm guessing. I guess we can round this up, and I can officially wish you the best of luck for your mint in however many hours it is now, 30 something hours.
Yeah, something like that. Dude, I really appreciate you inviting me over and cleaning up some stuff to the cooks because we didn't really have a formal AMA before everything happened because everything happened so fast. So I really
You
appreciate
did
you inviting me over.
you did kind of blow up a little bit, not gonna lie. I'm sure I saw you when, like, I've got a feeling that you followed a page that I helped run. And I
Oh,
thought, oh,
really?
okay, yeah. Um, and then that was it. And I didn't see you for ages. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, Kooks, oh, in tools, Kooks, oh, over there, Kooks. Like, oh, okay, cool.
It's actually the community has been passing me over and over. So it's mostly organic. It's not much of a like a forced thing, which is really cool because they're helping me a lot. I like that. I like about that in our community.
Yeah, I mean, we don't charge to do AMAs or anything like that. We just like to see cool people and get to know them, and if if we can help them do well, even better. But it's all about bringing good quality content to both your people and our people, and making some link.
Yep, amazing for you to do that, man. really, really cool to connect with a lot of people in the space.
But yeah, I mean, thank everyone for turning up, not least Russell. But yeah, thank everybody else as well, and for the questions
Yep,
that were
of
asked.
course.
Very much
Thank you to
appreciated.
all the cooks in here. So much cooks in here. I see y'all. I see you all. Like I see Jemmy, I see Josh. He's still up. Mark is there. Mr. Hippie, CZ Fly, um, Mikey over there. Of
Yeah, I
course,
mean
Hammer Tank
the
and
list was
Vic.
off the bottom of my screen earlier, so
Yeah, yeah. Really appreciate them going over here because they actually have a lot of things they want to clear up as well. So I hope I cleared it to them.
yeah.
So it's really really nice.
And if you've got any more questions, feel free to ask them in their chat because we're closing. Well, we're closing the AMA. I shouldn't say we're closing.
The local store
Might edit that
closing.
one out the back of the YouTube video now. But
Hmm.
but yeah, if you are watching this recording on YouTube, feel free to give it a like and a share, and make sure you have a little click on the links below. Obviously, Kooks will be linked down there for you, and we look forward to seeing you in our Discord channels.
Sweet. I think there's no more questions, right?
No, that's it now. I was just saying goodbye to everyone.
Amazing. Thank you guys. Thank you so much, Tolson. I really appreciate you inviting me over.
Thank you very much, and I hope everyone has a great evening or morning.